Hello and welcome to Magic Gathering Strat. This is an update on the Turbo Exhume decklist. I have been asked by two people lately in Magic Gathering Online for my decklist, and I modified my decklist a little. So here is the update. I'm playing 6 free mana sources. I'm playing 4 Lotus Petals and 2 Simian Spirit Guides to speed me up. And I have 12 lands that can produce 2 mana the turn after they entered the battlefield. They all come into play tapped. They add 1 mana and they make mana of their friend colors if you sacrifice them. So this one makes red mana, and if you sacrifice it, it makes black and green mana, and the other one makes black mana, and if you sacrifice it, it makes red and blue mana. And Sandstone Needle just makes 2 red mana always, but after 2 times it's depleted and will be sacrificed. So that's 12 lands, and I have 4 swamps that come into play untapped, and I do all this to have 4 mana on turn 2. Why do I need 4 mana on turn 2? The goal of this deck is to exhume, scroll to the right please, exhume an Ulamog's Crusher, probably and possibly on turn 2. Exhume is an old and nice card that lets each player return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, and so you have to make sure that you have an Ulamog's Crusher in the graveyard when you exhume him. Adding Dragon Breath, stay where you are. Adding Dragon Breath to the mix. Dragon Breath is an enchantment that has a trigger when it's in the graveyard. If a creature that costs 6 mana or more enters the battlefield, you can enchant it with Dragon Breath, and Dragon Breath gives haste. So you can give your Ulamog's Crusher haste, which of course is nice. Now, to get the Ulamog's Crusher into the graveyard, you have Faceless Looting, which works for 1 mana, and you have 6 other spells that let you discard your Ulamog's Crusher and draw cards at the same time. Tormenting Voice and Wild Guess. It's the same card, only the name and the mana cost is different. You have to discard a card from your hand, which is Ulamog's Crusher or Dragon Breath, and then you can draw 2 cards. So that's why you need 4 mana on turn 2. You need to be able to play Wild Guess or Tormenting Voice, because you don't always have Faceless Looting, and discard Ulamog's Crusher. And then with the other 2 mana you can exhume Ulamog's Crusher. Of course, it's best if you use Faceless Looting and discard Ulamog's Crusher and Dragon Breath both, and then exhume them, because no one can recover from a turn 2 Ulamog's Crusher with haste. But plans go wrong, and because of this you play Gurmag Angler. You tend to fill your graveyard with all this stuff. Your lands go to the graveyard, Lotus Petals go to the graveyard, your mana fixers go to the graveyard, and all the cards draw. And then you have many cards in the graveyard, and your zombie fish is cheap. And the nice thing is, these lands that make 2 mana when you sacrifice them, they make 3 mana for the zombie fish. And Lotus Petal makes 2 mana for the zombie fish, because you can always exile cards from your graveyard for his Delve ability, so that's very, very nice. And sometimes you happen to have Exhume in hand, but you don't have any targets in your graveyard. And that is why there is Stinkweed Imp in the deck. Having Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard lets you dredge Stinkweed Imp. You can even discard Stinkweed Imp and dredge him by playing Tormenting Voice in 1 step, because the additional cost is discarding Stinkweed Imp, and then the first card you draw is dredging Stinkweed Imp, and this might bring an Ulamog's Crusher into the graveyard, which you can exhume then. If you have Faceless Looting and discard Stinkweed Imp on turn 2, you will have a Gurmag Angler almost for sure on turn 2, because he dredges 5 cards and he costs 7 mana, and if you delve away the 5 cards you dredged, he costs only 2 mana, and on turn 2 you almost always have 3 mana, so that's nice. That's nice too. Okay. Sideboard. Sideboard is straightforward. It is in against Tron. It is in against Affinity, because you can blast away the artifact lands and you can blast away a lot of stuff in Tron decks, and then you can bring him back with Exhume for more fun, so he's just a good card. Pyroblast is in for all the blue decks. Delver Fiend. Always remember the Cyclops they play, the 1/4 Cyclops that gets bigger when they play enchantments, is a blue card, so Pyroblast is great there. And of course you can counter their counters, so that's nice. And you have Durus against mono black control, and you have Magma Spray. Magma Spray is... Go over here. Oh, slow right now. Magma Spray is removed against creatures like Kiln Fiend, and they won't come back because they get exiled, or against elves. I forgot how the elf is called that pumps them. Timberwatch elf, is this right? I don't know, I forgot. You can kill Timberwatch elves with it, and you can kill Delver of Secrets with it, and they won't come back when you exhume because they are exiled. And the last sideboard card is Electrickery, because tokens are a hazard. If he makes 3 goblins tokens with Kuldota Rebirth, he can block your Ulamox Crusher for some time. Or if he raises the alarm, or if he has triplicate spirits and so on, you need Electrickery. So that's the sideboard. I have some videos on the channel, watch them. It's a very fun deck to play, and see you soon.